Hello and welcome to the Apex Racing TV esports studio and our coverage of the penultimate round of the Apex Racing League GT3 trophy. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick and alongside me is David Sampson. After a couple of controversial incidents in the past few rounds, our championship, particularly in the pro drivers, is looking very, very close, with several drivers still with a chance at this season's title. How are you doing? We've got Long Beach for this round and it's going to be quite a challenge for the drivers.
Yeah, very good, thank you. I'm a fan of this track. I don't like the starting procedure, you know, well, I think it's just the way iRacing starting procedures are is a little exposed here. But I like this track. It's a good challenge. Overtaking's tricky, qualifying's important. A 1 hour race with a pit stop. There's going to be a lot of strategy in this. I like this track. I've always been pro Long Beach, apart from the start. I wish I could just be on lap 2 and not deal with the rubbish.
Well, we have got a different start procedure for today. We'll see if that maybe resolves any of those issues or prevents them from cropping up. Let's have a look at the previous race highlights then. From last time out, it was at Donington. We had the double race format for that one. And, well, Impulse very much carried on from where they left off at Spa with a lockout of the front row. And with the difficulty of overtaking at Donington, that really was a big deal for them.
Yes, this was a good race. It was very tricky. Long race, a lot of cars. But yeah, they were very strong. Very strong. It was great to see. But yeah, this was a tricky old track for the drivers.
This was Tokyo managing to gain a couple of places on lap 1. You saw previously as well Mishka overtaking Sheffers in a choreographed overtake. Mishka, of course, going for the title, and yeah, was able to move up on that occasion. Of course, this was a tight battle as well for the reverse grid. Corentin Lazine was outside of the reverse grid championship leader, of course. He had to make his way up through the order, and with a move you can just see in the back there for Tim Grieven, was able to move up into P10. And with that reverse grid pole, once again, because of the difficulty of overtaking, it was very important. But Mishka absolutely dominated for his 3rd race win of the season.
Yeah, he's been looking very strong, and you're seeing my picks that have backed that.
Yes, it didn't go so well for him though in race 2 because we had these 2 significant issues.
Yeah,
I think it was Robin Vist who was the one who initially perhaps caused that incident, and many drivers got involved. Then, of course, we had this second incident as well.
Yeah, the second incident, yeah, was I can't remember what happened, but it was more avoidable than what happened in the first. Because we say who it was caused by in the first incident, but it was just a bit unlucky, you know. But yeah.
Yeah, that was the second one. I think it was Biella being involved in that one. Biella and Tokyo, I think it may have been. And yeah, colliding and getting a lot of drivers involved. Tim Grieven was having to hold on against Lazine. We thought that Lazine had maybe pulled off the move at this point, just 3 minutes into the race. But the Ford driver was able to hang on, but it was going to be a very long 30 minutes for him to be able to cling on to that position.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, some brilliant defending in the first sector there from the drivers.
Oh. And this is when we had the controversy. Grieven slow at the corner, Shepherds with a chance to move through, and then this moved to the right from Lazine, which did not impress anyone. Then, of course, Lazine made contact at the very next corner as well. It was ruled not to be an intentional wreck by the stewards, but it was still worthy of a significant penalty and a qualifying ban for today for Lazine, which has very much put his championship hopes in jeopardy.
Yeah, I mean, he was completely at fault, but obviously I trust the stewards on the decision on the intent. Obviously, I've been involved in lots of weird netcode, glue, base instance, so I know what it feels like to when it looks terrible, so I won't pass judgment. I trust the steward.
And yeah, here was the move again from the chopper. And yeah, right across. And then, of course, there was this second hit right there into the chicane. So that was worth 2-3 license point penalties, and you get a qualifying ban for 6 license points. So he's been very clean this season. Lazine, no penalties, and then he gets 2 in about 5 seconds. Grieven, though, held on from that reverse grid pole. In the end, that reverse grid pole was very, very important. And he managed to get another win for Impulse. That's 3 on the bounce for them, albeit all in the short races. So that means that in our Pro Championship then going into this round, it's very, very close. Lucas Tellman, of course, hasn't been around the last couple of rounds, so he's out of championship contention. But it's very, very much alive in the Pro Championship at the moment because Leon Mishka, with his strong run of form, is now just 4 points behind Lazine. And like I said, Lazine has got a qualifying ban at Long Beach. So we'll surely have
Oh.
Mishka leading the championship going into the last round.
Yeah, obviously, Michigan needs to now qualify as well. Super important here. But Tortoise isn't that far away. You know, he's still in. He's been scoring some big points.
Yeah, that could still change around. Still alive as well in the Pro-Ams because Robin Vist is ahead, but Frederick Kokok has been perhaps the man more informed than anyone else in recent rounds. Certainly scored more points than anyone else in the previous round, and so he's got that gap down to 27 now.
Yeah, and obviously Vist was involved in that gigantic accident. Well, he was the catalyst.
Yes. And in the amateurs, this one looking, I think, a little bit more settled. Otto Pinty up ahead there, but we know Livingston's good. And but yeah, Otto Pinty's been relentless. Really consistent results for the past 5
How many
rounds.
rounds are left?
2.
2. Okay, yeah. So it's looking very good for Pinty, unless he slaps a wall here and Livingston gets a P5. You know, with his class, you know, anything can happen at Long Beach. You just got to score points.
Exactly. Could change very quickly here. And in the teams championship, Valkyrie competition pulling away a bit. Impulse, of course, have been the team in form over the last couple of rounds, so they're up into third. They've moved ahead of Delachaz, and they could well move as well ahead of Absolute Motorsport, but Valkyrie maybe too far ahead. But I think both Viella and Lacine, I think, have qualifying bans for today, so they're going to be starting from the back, so they're not going to be scoring many points, so maybe it could change about quite a bit there.
They're going to be focusing on if it's possible to try and get that reverse skid pole. Like,
well, it's just one race, so they're not going to be...
Oh my God. Okay, well, it gives them the opportunity. Yes, it's really hard to overtake here, but as long as you stay out of trouble, pick people off one at a time, keep it safe, they've got the pace. It's going to be quite exciting to see. But yeah, it's going to be very difficult.
It is going to be very difficult for those guys. In terms of the season calendar, let's have a look at what rounds we have got remaining, because we've got Long Beach today, and then next week will be Imola for the season finale. That will be the A format, and this is the A format as well. So it's just a 32 minutes qualifying session, and then we've got a 60-minute race. The drivers are limited to 60% fuel usage. Otherwise, they'd probably do the whole race without making a pit stop round this place. But they will have to make a pit stop, albeit there'll be a bit more margin, because even 60% fuel, they could probably go over 40 minutes, I think.
No idea. This is a strange track. You can save a lot of fuel here.
Yeah, very low fuel consumption. Of course, this isn't the only series which is going on at the moment in Apex Racing League. We've also got the Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup, which is coming back in a few weeks' time. So do make sure to head over to apexracingleague.com for that. It's got our really fun elimination heat format, and it'll be broadcast from here in the Apex Racing TV esports studio. So check out that. We've also got the Apex Racing League Touring Car Britain 2025. So once again, head over to apexracingleague.com. That is a BTCC style series, copying the real life schedule once again on Thursday evening. So if you're interested in TCR cars, that is a really fantastic championship to take part in. But let's have a look at the track then, this Long Beach circuit, and the several challenges that it provides the drivers. It will be a demanding one for them to negotiate.
Yeah, I'm in GT cars. It's all about getting back to the throttle, not trying to carry a ton of speed in, especially say T1, T2. You just want to set yourself back up to be on throttle. You can then push yourself closer to the wall, not worrying about scrubbing the fronts and bouncing along and clipping the wall. I find that's key here on this track, is just trying to sacrifice a little on the way in to focus on your way out. It's so hard to overtake as well. That's one of the opportunities we see for the fuel saving. As we see turn 1 here. Yeah, there's not a lot you can do if someone pokes nose unless you're committed. Yoicks.
Unless you're a very good driver.
Yeah,
obviously.
You just scrub a lot of speed.
So yeah, this was Lewis Ord. Didn't do too much after this, but yeah, making a good move on Gachea right there. And then, of course, this is some of the risk on lap 1. This was back in the Rick Motec World Challenge, and a complete track blockage, and that's how easy it can happen at the fountain.
He did well to tow. He did not well to try and gain an opportunity by just touching the guy in front. This is iRacing. No, it's a non-contact sim.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to leave yourself margins. This track's a street circuit. You know how to finish a street circuit. You know how to finish a street circuit. You take your opportunities where they need to be, not like turn 9 here as well. It's very opportunistic to go for a move, but 30% of the time, you're going to end up facing the wrong way with the other guy.
And this is something that we're going to watch out for. Takahashi on this occasion, once again in the World Challenge in Rikmosek. Spinning, and then you're stuck on the corner exit, and no one has anywhere to go.
Well, I mean, he caused it, and then he reversed onto the racing line.
He made it so much worse.
yeah.
But hopefully none of our 30-odd drivers are going to do that for today. Well, in terms of our picks, the pick that I have gone for today is How Does He Tortoise in the pros. I thought Michiko would be a little bit boring. He hasn't actually won a race so far this season, to be fair. Your Tortoise hasn't won any races. But yeah, I want to see your Tortoise do well and bring himself into championship contention.
Yeah, good picks.
Maya in the Pro-Ams, a little bit further down the order, but he's had good qualifyings, and then Hodgson as well, good qualifyings. And I think that's going to be very important, Hunter.
Yeah, no, strong picks. Not the right picks, but strong picks nevertheless.
Or one of them you think is the right one?
I do. Well, we've never had the same pick before. It's never been allowed, but because we went for such a curveball, we kept it in. Yeah. I've gone with Liam Mischko, purely on-form driver. That's how I feel. He's converted a lot of wins recently. Yes, some of them haven't been in the first race. It's difficult. There is a strong field at the front. I just feel like he's carrying a lot of form. Frederick Koch, I've been really impressed with Pro-Am. To be honest, I almost feel like he's borderline a pro now with his recent performances. And Jason Hodgson, which is, yeah, again, he's quite the far down in the AM order, but we obviously both spotted the same thing. Now, I must say, we do this a long time before the session. It's not like we check the practice times and log it. We do it hours before. So, yeah, it's nice to see his same pick there. Yes,
we'll see how he gets on at his home circuit.
No pressure, we're both picking him.
Yeah, no, well, hopefully he's not tuning in. I think he's already out on track in qualifying, so we can't affect him. He's not doing well in qualifying. We'll see if he improves. We will go to a quick advert, and then when we're back, we'll be trackside to cover the penultimate qualifying session of the season.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Welcome to Long Beach and the 32-minute qualifying session that the drivers are currently in. We have the amateur drivers just finishing up their qualifying at the moment, but then we'll have the Pro-Ams and the Pros. Interestingly, for this round, David, it looks like we may not have the Valkyrie cars after all, because we were talking about how Corentin Lacine had a very slim championship leading margin, but he has not joined the session seemingly, and therefore it's very, very good news for Leon Mischko.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, if I assume there was a penalty from that previous race, which will which will carry forward.
Yes, he will have to still serve the qualifying ban at the next round. Yes.
How does Oshi Pinty see with big glasses?
He's blind as a bat. Is Occhipinti.
Do you know the one thing I do love when you sometimes see a sim rig with just the VR is obviously you don't need triples or a massive screen. It's just you just need A monitors sometimes help you set things up, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, it always blows my mind how the rigs that we have downstairs, especially with the triples, they're wider than they are long.
Yeah, mate, I have triple 32. Says you want to see wide? Mine's it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, I'm a little bit jealous on that side.
Roger Pinsey, championship leader, and he's putting another good lap. Our pick, Jason Hodgson, up there in second place. So that's a good lap there from Hodgson, but it is exceptionally close from second down to sixth. Russ Fowler probably has a right to feel a little bit annoyed with that, but he's still out there. No, well, he hasn't got time to do this lap. He starts the lap after this time ended. But he really should be... I mean, he can come back to the pits. I hope he doesn't complete this lap, otherwise he will get a penalty.
Oh, of course, yeah. It's the... Yeah, he crossed the line after the time. I always forget what the times are. 10, 10, 12? Is that right? Is that the format?
Yes. But Russ is very experienced. He's actually one of the drivers who signed up for the ARL Touring Car Brits in 2025 already, so...
if he comes into pits, he might think he's bypassing the rule, but what if he crosses the line in pits?
We'll let him off.
No.
If he comes
a
into
rule's
the
a rule.
pits. We appreciate the effort to make it look realistic on the sim and not just toe back.
Right, okay, so it does need to pit.
Let's come into the pits, Eek! Okay, well, put that in your books, because that could be a pro-race penalty for Ross Fowler. I mean, and he's moved up to second place as well. Well.
And you definitely clocked him... Well, yeah, you had to have...
Well, yeah, it's 12 minutes, yeah. It was a 1 minute 18 lap.
Naughty boy.
That's, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to have too much about Russ because he's a very, very, very good driver, very good member of the league. But I am surprised that 6 rounds in, he's fallen for that.
Yeah.
But we've got the Pro-Ams on their first flying laps now. Watch out for the likes of Coke. We've got a new driver as well, the Luxembourg driver, Lenny Kiefer, the WNS Motorsport, a team that we've seen a few times in the past, so watch out for him. Good first sector for Kiefer.
Shipinti looking good. I'm trying to think, I only did a couple of laps in the Audi on race fuel, and I think I did an 18.6, so either I'm slow or the AMs are fast. No, I'm just trying to think, what was it, a 17.6? I can't remember the lap time I did, to be honest, but...
Are you sure it was the same conditions?
Oh, no, I had 98% humidity because it was going to rain, right?
Sure.
Yeah, so no. Yeah.
Fairly early in the morning as well. I think it's about 8:30.
Is the humidity on that one?
No, we haven't got the humidity.
Yeah, I think it was 98 because that's where then I went to check and I realised it was going to be raining. But to be honest, I didn't actually jump into a IMSA session. I used the, you know what the Apex coaches use as their telemetry. Sure. So
yeah, I think the track might be a little bit warmer than what has been in the official. So it's still very cold. Still very cold. It's only 20.5 degrees Celsius, so you can't get much colder than that.
Are you a fan of this track?
I do like this track. One of my favourite weeks ever in iRacing was doing IndyCar races around here. And I did about 5 hour-long IndyCar races. And I don't think I crashed once. And it was just really, really intense, really challenging, but a lot of fun.
Ever since I saw our very own Jamie do a no-stop here, years ago, I've always liked to rock up and say, like, the LMP2 and do no-stop races. Although I don't do it in IMSA anymore, just IMSA fixed, because, yeah, it's just painful. It's just too... you lose too much time. Sure. It's just painful. IMSA fixed, though, it's definitely the strat.
So Roger Pinsey holding on at the front. Mulder got close with his first lap, but was close on his second lap. Barry's up there in third. Pindal, who's been very strong this season. Not necessarily maximised all his results, but he's there in fourth. Watching this man, Michael Eberstein, one of the many Cold Ice esports drivers. We've also got one other new driver as well for this round who will be in the pros, Mikko Nurmi, who is Finnish, which is ominous for anyone.
Yeah, I was just speaking to Mikko. He's in my community, like I speak to him a lot, we race a lot. He just messaged me to say he barely made it into the session because he didn't realise the clock had changed in England.
It's a tough time for you. Yeah, with the clock change. Mark Hutchinson, not been very strong in qualifying recently, Mark. Has had some very good race performances, But I do fear for him a little bit tonight, because usually he sort of relies on gaining lots of places in the race. And that's not going to be something he's going to be able to do easily here. He is not too far off the lead here, and just a tenth of a second improvement could get him up half the field. But he would dearly love to find that 10. It is a good first sector, though, for him, a personal best.
Yes, indeed. His times are slowly creeping down, but Ochapinti again showing, you know, how strong a drive he's been. Russ, yeah, it's a shame, right? Because yeah, Russ got that lap illegally, and Hodgson's it's 8, so that would be a 6-car deficit. And we always mention that kind of like in the AMs and Pro-Ams as to look out for is how many you can split your nearest competition, because that's how you get points. In Pro, it's just about not blowing points, but in AM especially, it's about qualifying as many Pro-Ams as you can.
Shuttler moves up to 12.
Ah, Brandon Bones confirming the humidity is 86.
Okay, so it's still pretty high.
Yeah, yeah, so I'm the real hero here, to be honest.
I'm not sure if we went through the weather earlier on, but there is a 0% chance of rain today. However, if you do want to see some rain at Long Beach, on Monday we have the Race Data AI Prototype Championship, and it has got a 75% chance of rain. And that's in the GTP and LMP2. So the LMP2s are probably going to be faster than the GTPs. Hour-long race.
Whoa.
So easy 0 stop. Even in the dry, it would be a 0 stop, I think, considering they did 0 stops at Fuji. So, yeah, that will be manic.
There's talk of them capping the LMP2s next season. 10% less fuel. Whoa! 10% less fuel to stop all this nonsense.
The LMP2s?
10% less fuel in officials.
Oh, okay, sure, in officials, okay.
Just to, you know, make sure in pit stop races they pit.
Yeah.
Because you can do it in GTP, but it is harder.
Christian Maltriek seemingly skimming the wall a moment before and potentially getting a 0x because of it. But he's still pushing along. Of course, another driver actually in the Prototype Championship, always in a very bright green livery. He doesn't do a whole lot of designing necessarily of his livery, but it's very distinctive. We always know where he is. Is it an improvement? It is not. Maybe it was a 1x for him. No, it was just slower. It was a 10th slower than his previous lap. He's got one more.
Do you think he designed the livery himself?
Well, yeah, that is the livery he runs on every car. In the GTPs, he's got the exact same, just bright green livery. And I love it. It's like, oh, there he is.
Yeah, I think we should stop calling it a livery, though.
A scheme? A colour.
A colour.
A brand. I'd say it's a brand. It's that distinctive.
I mean, you do have to make it yourself, I suppose. You can't use an iRacing paint, right? You have to...
No, you don't have to submit a paint. You could just, yeah, go to the iRacing paint shop.
No, I mean,
submit a paint, and then
in the iRacing paint shop, can you override it to be just one colour? I'm trying to think.
I think so, because doesn't it give you like different designs? And then it's like, I want it gives you like 3 layers, doesn't it? Or it gives you 3 sections.
Oh, we'll just make all the sections the same colour.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then it just makes it all one.
So work has gone into it.
Bari currently pole, and he's got his last attempt coming up now. Coke as well, trying to improve. His first sector is good. Oh, I think I was looking away. I sort of looked up and it didn't look particularly great through the right-hander, and did definitely step out on him. So this is probably a lot of catching up to do. Yes, it's his second sector is no way. He's lost 3/10 in the second sector. He's still pushing on, but I don't think he's got any shot here.
And he's got the dash on light mode. I'm a dark mode sort of guy.
Yeah.
Not that I can see it, because I literally use a DDU. I'm excited to see what the pros can do. It's going to be tight at the top.
So, yep, knew that he was not going to improve there for Coke. So he's back to the pits. So Ochapinti, of course, is an AM, so of course he was in the pits. Bari's still out there. Still worth him trying to improve if he can. David Moeller, not on a... I mean, it's a pretty good lap. No personal best sectors, but they all look good sectors, so it might be an improvement for him. And it is moves up to third. It was a personal best final sector, so he did gain a bit of time there. Bari crosses the line, but no improvement for him. So provisional pole, or at least Pro-Am pole for Alexi Bari, and I have to check whether he has actually taken a pole so far this season, because I'm not sure if he has. He has not. So congratulations to Alexi Bari, first pole position in the series.
Nice. Right, so the pros head out. No pressure on Miko. His first race, and he's just got into the session. The clocks messed me up actually for Pescal Stars. I started I think an hour too early, so I practiced way too much.
Yeah, sure,
to the point where I was almost burnt out by the time the race
Well,
started.
it worked. You did well.
I did well.
Qualifying.
Thank you.
P3.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was.
P4, 10th off pole.
Yeah.
That Fuji, honestly.
A question in chat, Haldas? Well, he's just going out on track.
Yeah.
He is my pick, though, to win this race. And he will have a very good shot at second place in the championship, will Eutortus. Former Pro-Am champion in the Porsche Cups, of course. But if he's going to win the title and catch up to Leon Mishka, one, he probably needs Mishka to make a mistake, and two, he needs to, well, probably win it today.
Yeah, I mean, we know he's a very technical driver. He enjoys the rain, so this it goes to show the kind of driving ability he's got. I mean, it can swing. Like, if he gets a big result here, I mean, Mishka's extremely fast, but it's just a wall hit here, the wrong wall hit, and it's over. So, and there's plenty of cars, so the points can swing massive in one race. There's no T2 heat format to, undo and repair some points. I think Eutortus will be coming into this race, still optimistic he can do it.
Well, I'm not sure if all the drivers were pushing. Leon Mishka was pushing, so that's a very good time for him. I don't think anyone else is going to get close to that on their first attempt. They all seem to be backing off, going for 2 warm-ups. So Mishka, with quite the gauntlets already, that's going to be difficult to beat for anyone.
I don't know if they would definitely go for a double outlap with only 12 minutes.
Well, a lot of them at least seem to be taking sort of that wide line out of the hairpin. It almost looked like they just bailed on that first lap, maybe because of the traffic and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Seen a nice mixture of cars. I obviously had the freedom of picking any car. I think I'd have picked the Audi here. I certainly wouldn't have picked the Mercedes. Nothing big and heavy and understeer, please, at this track for me. I want to nearly die from spinning than I do touching a wall. So you can get half your car on that right-hand side, but 51%, and it's a slowdown because you are in pit road. But you can put half your car. As we ride on board of Eric, let's see how he gets on. You want to get some of this curb here, but push out left all the way to the wall, and you want to cut most of it here, but it will give you an awkward bounce. Yeah, you want to open the wheel, though, really smoothly. Here, it's not about carrying, it's about getting to that throttle at the apex. You want to be back on the throttle and opening the wheel now. So it's a little late, but the sound on replay can mess with you. Slowly over to the left. And here, tricky corner. Cut all of it, but you want to be smooth to getting that throttle down because the car will not be happy. Here, you can quite literally cut all of it on the right. But it's all about delivering that throttle down smoothly so you can be constantly opening the wheel. So you can definitely cut a little bit more than that. Here, you want to just smooth U-shape. Don't try and pull the wheel in. And then a little bit of boost there, then downshift. Now, this is the bit I struggle with, just getting the throttle down easy.
Well, Eutortus and Taboni both improved up to second and third. Van Spijker, can he gain a few places? No, it was an improvement, but he stays in P30 for now. Mishka's going for another push lap here.
Look at that, that's a lot of cut.
I mean, Mishka's first sector, which of course is a big part of this lap.
So you can get some draft here as well. Not a lot, but it can't hurt. Yeah, that's a frightening lap. 18.2, 18.1 now, improves.
Abithu up to second place. No tailman here for Delatraz, but they have a couple of their other drivers. Grieven, who of course won last time out, up to fourth. So Bone just lining up a lap here.
Your tortoise is looking consistent, banging in 2:18.4s. Not an improvement, though. It's a cool setup. Oh.
So if you were racing here, which corner do you think it would be most likely you'd pick up a meatball?
Oh, that's fine.
Xerox?
Pick up a meatball.
Because it's one thing to slap the wall like
Yeah.
Taboni just did, but it's
The
something
outside wall of T1,
yeah,
for sure.
I think so, yeah.
Because if anything's wrong and you've started to commit to it, you haven't taken that escape road, there's not a lot you can do. It's also the place where if you catch a spinner, there's also not a lot you can do because you're carrying quite tremendous speed there. Yeah, T1 I just like to underdrive. If I can do anything, focus on the throttle and the delivery and the power. But yeah, trying to think of anywhere else. Yeah, I think that's it.
Wide line for the Ford just behind, but they weren't holding anyone up. So Taboni will start another lap because he clipped the wall on that previous attempt. A lot of drivers just starting a new lap right now. Raymond Sheffers is going to start a new lap. Oh no, this is a lap for Sheffers, and it's pretty good. I think this might be good enough for maybe the third row of the grid. Fourth row of the grid, 7th place for Sheffers.
I suppose the second most likely spot is that right-hander over the dodgy curves as you track out to the wall. Sometimes you can get a really dodgy old bounce here.
Yeah.
You can sometimes get a bit of a strange bounce, and if you're not concentrating, you can track out to that wall. But most times it is just a 0x and no damage, but sometimes half your car falls apart, your tyres are gone.
Even pushing on this lap, but it was an underwhelming first sector. He's left himself a lot of work to do.
Is Tim Grievens the guy who's been really impressed in qualifying? I'm trying to think.
It's not been great in qualifying. Trying to see if he has got a pole position so far this season. It'd help if I looked in the Pro Championship rather than the Pro. But he's 16th in the championship, is Grieven. And had a couple of 0 scores. Like, he did turn up for a couple of rounds, but failed to complete enough laps to score points. Taboni moves up to 4th place, by the way. But yeah, no pole positions for him, but just that fantastic reverse grid win last time out at Donington.
What's going on here? Oh, there you go. Okay, he's letting him by once draft. Yeah.
Last attempt here for your tortoise. He's going to win the title. He really needs to get pole.
Let's go on board. Let's see if he uses first gear. Yep. Smoothly up. Second. Slap it over the curb. Push out to the wall. Let's see how much he cuts here. All of all of it. There you go. Is this open set? This? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got a nice little setup there.
Very bad first sector though. It's over. He's 4 tenths down on Mishka in the first sector alone.
Yeah, obviously a dodgy T1.
Nurmi up to 10th on his debut. That's very good. He has raced in F3 in ARL before as Miko. But this is his first time in GT3 Trophy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good driver. Raced against him in a Sunday League I did last week. He claimed one more lap and he would have beat me, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, but I never listen.
Oh, he's lining this one up, but... oh, okay, of course we've got loads of time, haven't we? I keep on thinking it's half hour.
Ah, so Utos was just
Yeah.
in the car.
But yeah, Nurmi is 5.1k, or 5k.
Yep, so yeah, very strong. Beat me in GT4s at Sebring when we were racing a couple of weeks back.
De Ruyter out there as well, P13, starting his final lap now. Of course, they have to complete the lap before the 32 minutes are up. That's why the pro drivers get a little bit more time. Boris asking in chat, didn't Senna have a qualifying ban? Well, if he did, and he didn't serve it, then that will be a race ban for the next round. he will not be able to take part in the final rounds, if that is the case, which he did have a qualifying ban, I believe. So unless he's got an exceptional excuse, he will be missing the last rounds.
So yeah, a couple of mistakes there. Qualifying ban, driver qualifying, and who was it?
It was Fowler who...
Russ Fowler.
Over the time.
Driving on his non-allocated time.
To give credit to Russ, he is quite close to being a pro. So like, if a few lower iRacing drivers signed up, then maybe he would have been put in the pro-ams, but he didn't. Nurmi with a personal best sector 1, decent sector 2, underwhelming sector 3. I'm not sure if this is going to be an improvement. Of course, once again, it's so close up there. He only needs a 10th, and he'll be on the 3rd row of the grid. But
yeah, a 10th is big.
I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think this is going to be an improvement for him. Let's see, he is the last driver to complete his laps. He just about makes it to the line by about a second, but it wasn't an improvement. Very close. He was only 100th and a half off improving, but it wasn't quite good enough. So, yeah, that is qualifying complete, and we can go to our grid now for the penultimate round of the season. And yeah, this 60-minute race at Long Beach. And it's Mishka on the pole position, 10th of a second ahead of Abithu. Yatortus in 3rd place next to Bone, Grieven. Bari is top of the Pro-Ams in 6th place overall. Sheffers is in 7th alongside Eula. Then it's Kokok, Nurmi, Mola, and Ochabinti, top of the Am-Sujars. I'm not sure if we've had an amateur in the top 12 in qualifying this season. Then it's De Ruyter, Torquio, Brown, Vist, Pindel, Fowler, Erbestein, Kiefer, Nova, Hodgson, Livingston, Senna in 24th. And then it's Rinker, Van Spijker, Schuttler, Malchurek, Hutchinson, Britones, Burnt, Schmolotz, Sialfi, and Herkenrath. Had a lot of drivers earning qualifying bans for this round, but I think 3 of them aren't here. Or maybe even 4 of them. Yeah, we've got no Dominic Korschevan, have we, today, which is a shame. He's always a very entertaining driver. But yeah, 4 of them aren't here. 1 of them didn't serve it. But Justin Herkenrath, he's hit the nail on the head. He is the one driver who had a qualifying ban, who served a qualifying ban.
Yep. Katie in chat, as always, wishing good luck to Ross Fowler. Yes, he's looking really good. Unfortunately, that lap came at the wrong time. He's going to be getting a... I assume he's going to be getting a penalty.
Yeah, so I'm going to need to check what penalties have been given for similar offences so far this season, because we have had a lot of these. I think it'll be a 5 or 10 second penalty because he only did 1 lap. It might just be a 5.
I suppose the only thing that needs double checking is it was an improved lap.
Yeah.
That was the big hit for me. It gained him like 5 positions.
So yeah, I think if he hadn't have improved, he would have got away without a penalty, or at least without a time penalty. He would have earned license points, which could lead to a qualifying ban. But yeah, because of the improvement, yeah, that will put him in trouble. It is a single file start that we have for this race, so the drivers are going to have to get into single file, and then that's just to try to avoid having a mess at the hairpin, and the drivers are getting into formation now.
I was saying this just before, but in top split, we generally do this here in Le Mans. I would say because of those stupid chicanes that you have to then basically start your lap on, you know, from many cars further back, that I always find the single file makes much more sense. The problem is the drivers that forget that are in, say, 30th right now, it goes green, green, green.
Yeah.
Now they've been in single file.
It's been stated they cannot overtake until after the hairpin. So even when it goes green, 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 stay behind until you get out of the hairpin, and then you can go.
Because the problem is, so it'd be going green in, say, 10 seconds, and there might be some people lingering.
And here we launched it, and already your tortoise did move past Abithu right there. Abithu sort of hesitated a little bit because the pace car wasn't in the pits yet. And yes, we'll see about that one. But Mishka...
Did Leon overtake the safety car before it turned?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
It was close, though, wasn't it?
Further back, Mola trying to stay ahead of Ojpiti. And of course, there have been no changes. Well, a couple of changes. Senna has got past Livingston further down the order, and we've also had Burns get past Britones. Besides that, it was just your Tortoise going past Abithu.
One time at Le Mans, we got into single file, but the guy didn't realise I was ahead of him. It's allowed, right? But he was behind me. Because we'd...
Sure, you were on the same row of the grid.
Yeah, he went behind me and not thought about it, but he had out-qualified me.
Sure.
I didn't correct him. I took it. Yeah, so all clean so far?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Clean. No, yeah, I did make a note about 2 weeks ago when I thought, yeah, it's Long Beach. Yeah, this would be a good idea. And so, yeah, that's been sat in my notes for a while to do that.
Hello to Alan in chat. Hope you're well, mate.
And of course, this does mean that we have a lot of field spread, but, and I know that is a bit of a criticism of these single file starts, but you have the field spread anyway. Like, you just have it all before the race even starts.
Correct.
Of course, the first 3 laps when you have a double file start are so slow anyway.
Well, let's see if there's any major accident here now on lap 2, because now they're racing. Tokyo dies, so that's not promising. Yep. So, as I mentioned it.
Just a connection thing for
Oh, really?
Always a very action-packed race for Alessandro. He's not necessarily usually in the top 5 places, but we do show a lot of him. Usually for the goods, usually for some very good overtakes, but sometimes for this stuff as well. And you can see he is blinking behind.
Yeah, not the best internet.
But already the drivers sort of feel like they're, or it feels like to me at least, like the drivers are in a rhythm. It's sort of that start has taken all the intensity out of this race.
Yeah, we've got no... Tokyo's internet is the only thing messing with my screen right now.
Yeah. Eberstein's getting fairly close right now to Fowler. Fowler just holding on. Of course, he could go for a dive here into the hairpin. It's one of the best overtaking spots on the track, but it is a very risky one.
Yeah.
So all concertina up at the hairpin.
We are missed with a commanding lead already. Not that the draft factor's huge here, but obviously we will be. There will be a pit stop, and it's now a long race, so fuel saving can play a part here. If you're stuck behind a group of cars, then and you cannot find way by, then just hyper fuel saving secures you jumping on the way out of the pits. To ride on board with Jason here. Our pick running 3rd in AM at the moment. Oi. This car does not look compliant. That's the problem. People go with safe sets here because it's Long Beach, you know? Of course you want to be safe, but like I mentioned earlier, I'd rather be near death on rotation than understeer. I'd rather have the opportunity to save my spin than just plough into a concrete wall.
Eberstein getting closer and closer to Valley. Cannot be much closer than this. He's got a whole lap, 0.2 of a second behind, but he's just not found a way past yet. And of course he'll be frustrated because of course Fowler got that position ahead of him in qualifying through controversial means, and there's now quite a queue down to about 30th place. Antonio Britones is at the back of it, about 14 cars, all within 1 second of each other. I sometimes feel like when I'm doing, I think really a lot of races, but particularly street circuits, I become more crash prone the more I race around them because I'm getting closer and closer to the limit and sort of wanting to find that extra bit of pace. I think initially you're sort of quite happy to just do laps and be clean, but once you're on your 3rd or 4th race, you sort of want to, you know, keep getting better. I don't know if you found the same.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Yeah, it takes everything from your street circuit. You've really got to be completely on it. And yeah, overtaking is not easy. Being slightly quicker isn't enough here, unfortunately. Nailing your qualifying and then fuel saving now in your pit stop is the 2 biggest overtaking opportunities.
So here's a replay of the race start, and this is how your Tortoise got past. So
That's legal. Yeah, it was green, obviously, and they were having a picnic on exit napping.
Well, Mishka, to be fair, had to hold back, didn't he, because of the safety car.
Oh
So
wait,
he
this
couldn't
is
accelerate.
this is the lead pack.
Yeah.
Oh wait, okay, let me look again then. Well, I don't know. Did he go before the leader? I don't know.
Well, there was.
I thought that was just
before the race. We don't want anyone overtaking until they have exited the hairpin on the formation lap, even if the green flag is already waving. So, well, we'll see. Lawyers will be involved.
Yeah, the only way your Tortoise gets in trouble there is if he actually went before the leader went.
Yeah. Christian Malczak has got past Eric Van Spijker. Van Spijker, has he just hit the wall because he was very slow coming out of the corner? Meanwhile, Hutchinson trying to get underneath. He'll turn to the outside of this next corner. We'll try to get a mega cutback.
Yeah, try and get a good run here, but again, it's not easy. You really got to send it, and let's see.
Whoa. That little dink in the straight. Enough maybe to deter him from going for that move.
Hutchinson looking strong. Right, can we see our first hairpin overtake? I would prefer it to be in more agile cars than a Ford and Merc, but let's see.
It's all clean there. Of course, the next street circuit to join iRacing, I believe, will be Miami, which almost joined, if you count that as a
delayed,
street
right?
circuit. It got delayed. It was meant to be in the previous build. If you call that a street circuit, arguably it isn't, because it's not on streets. It's just a purpose-built circuit with walls very close to the track. But I think that counts as a street circuit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, we mention this every time, but I wish we got Bahrain and Singapore.
Singapore, yeah.
Yeah.
Urbestein has got past Fowler, by the way.
There's a Chinese track we don't know as well.
Shanghai?
Yeah.
Yep.
What else are we lacking that I would like?
Well, of course, the other street circuit which is coming is going to be Adelaide. Be scanned very soon by iRacing.
Do I know that? What was the...
Well, it hosted F1 for a lot of years. Up to 1995 was the last year it hosted F1. It's where Mansell's tyre blew up in '86. Where Hakkinen nearly had his, very bad accident in '92 or something.
No, I don't remember, unfortunately. And there's so many tracks in iRacing, especially with my season the last couple of months. I've had to learn, Magello, Sachsenring, and what's the other one that's recently learned? Thruxton. Oi. Oi.
So your Tortoise barely ahead of Abithu. Abithu's staying very, very close to the back of him, but it's going to take a big effort, and of course you can see Mishka move further and further away, and with even 52 minutes to go, he will feel like the time is ticking for him in order to keep a chance at winning this race.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically championship secured, right, with Mishka's win?
Yeah, it'd still be mathematically possible because Mishka's got a 0 score.
Yeah.
But the drivers get a faster pair, remember? So it's very tricky to get a 0 score because even if you destroy your car, you can take it back to the pits to get a faster pair and then just limp around. And there's not as many drivers in the field as we had at the start of the season. Still 34, which is really strong numbers going into the last couple of rounds. But it means that the worst you can finish is 34th rather than 55th like it would have been at the start of the season.
Just trying to work out the math if we'll see a lapping phase happen, but I don't think so. Oh, something's happened with PND.
Well, that's odd. That's happened halfway down the straight. He's now blinking a bit. I don't know if that's got something to do with it, and he's gone straight on, so...
That's not internet. Yeah, that's not internet. If the others had to slow for him and he's also...
Is his wheel?
No, I think it's like a graphics... like he's blinking and as in like, what's the word I'm trying to say?
There goes the move as well for his teammate. Very opportunistic from Rinker, and he's got past Livingston. Well, Livingston won't be happy about that. He might accuse the teammates of working together with that one, but I don't think that was choreographed, honestly.
Yeah, this Porsche is done. Yeah. He's having computer issues, I think. Oh, he's unplugging and replaying something.
He's going to try not to wipe out any of his teammates. Oh, here we go. So Fowler is... I thought Erbestein got ahead of Fowler. But then they've swapped back again. So it took a while for Eberstein to get past, and
Oh,
it's now been undone.
a different Cold Ice Esports driver's dropping. Manuel Piendi, but then Daniel...
Oh no, it's the Alfie.
Yeah, I wonder if it was something to do with his teammate, though, honestly. It was when his teammate got near.
Well, they were all in a pack, right? Near the rear of the field. Him and
Jason
Swallows
and
Herkingham.
Boris, yeah, and then Manuel was having the problems. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see that replay if his teammate limbering back has wiped one of them out. Yeah, I think he had computer issues. Because when it's just internet-based, like, you don't usually see them making mistakes when they're blinking. Like, yeah, they're blinking, but then they come back, they're fine, and they're still... When it's the kind of blinking where they're going 5 kph at a corner like he was, it's usually because they can't see what's going on either.
Yeah. So apparently he was actually stuck in third gear. So
blinking then stuck in third gear, yeah, so... Yeah, he had a serious issue then.
So still fairly few incidents so far in this race. We've had one driver retire, Alessandro Torchio. Quite sure what happened to Torchio actually at the start of the race. Van Spiker back to the pits. Torchio, of course, was his bad connection, so I didn't realise that he completely fell out of the server, Torchio, but yeah, he's out of it. Van Spiker and Pindle is getting back out on circuit now, actually. Unfortunately, he's a bit by himself, so it'll be a boring race for him, but he will just lap round there, and he might join his teammates as well, even though they are one lap ahead of him.
All right, some replays coming in.
So Van Spiker had a slowdown. So that's how he lost a couple of places. And this is how he picks it up.
So this is Epstein and Fowler. Oy! Oh dear. So this is what happened to Cialfi. Oi. TC off. What sim are they from? Did they say F1 or ACC? F1.
Yeah, I think it was F1.
Just wondering if they were trying TC off tricks. Used to be some real dodgy things you could do with GTP out of that corner. I forget what it was, but something like preloading the clutch or something. Yeah, like, I think it was in fixed. To bypass the TC, I don't know. Esport guys, they'll find anything.
So our Pro-Am leader right now is Alexei Bari. Having a terrific round is Bari.
He is.
Has yet to score a podium actually this season. He's been very consistent though. His worst score, I think, is better than anyone else's worst score. So that's impressive. And if he finishes where he is, he'll move up to third place in the championship. His first season, I believe, Bari in the GT3 trophy.
Yeah, looking very strong. It's how you do well in leagues, scoring big points, and you get a big finish like this. I think he's third in the
yeah, joint third.
Joint third, yeah. And what is it, Ochapinti and then Livingston? Sorry, so this is Pro-Ams. Wow, okay. I was lucky to guess his position then, because I was thinking AMS.
Oh no. Burns and Rinka have had a collision.
And Livingston's caught up in it.
Oh, and we have a track blockage. And that is a mess at the hairpin. Oh, Senna, stay still. And he might get disqualified. Oh, he's going very, very far, so he needs to be careful there. He's gone so far.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he hasn't got disqualified.
We'll get a replay of that, but yeah, that's what happens. I assume it was a half send, clip reoffender, both go round. Next car comes ploughing in.
Yeah, and that was all at the rear of the field. Like, I think it was maybe 6 cars involved. I think they were the last 6 drivers on the lead lap. You all got caught up in that. I wouldn't be surprised actually if Pindor as well, despite being a lap down, if he got caught up, he was around that part of the circuit. Corliss Esports might change positions here as well. That Schuttler getting past Smolotz up to 27th place. Schuttler lost that place earlier on. He's now retaken it. In fact, he was one of the ones who lost out a lot. He lost 5 seconds because of that incident. Smolotz gained a few places from it.
Yeah, I think Livingston and Rinker was also caught up in it.
Yeah, certainly Rinker, definitely saw that.
Yeah. There's a lot of Cold of Ice esports guys in this, caught up in this mess. Yeah. So they might have traded paint, I think, at some point in all this. Look at some of them really not opening up that corner. You could put half your car over the pit line. Well, 49.98%. Any more, and it's a big old slowdown. So there was actually a patch recently to fix sort of netcode detection at slow speed. Oi! Oi! Oi!
Might leave him vulnerable. He went for the smooth earlier on. You might go for it again here.
No, you don't. No. Because all these half sends do, A, if you clip them, you're both going to die anyway, but B, if you distract them to the point like that, they put it in the outside wall and then you hit them in the outside wall.
Rath has got past Smolotz, by the way. Now there's a swap between the Corliss Esports drivers. These guys are now 10 seconds behind Robin Vist. I mean, at this rate, if they keep losing this amount of time, they're going to be half a lap behind the next car.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on with Russ. Is he hyper fuel saving?
No, I think he's generally about 4/10 slower than the car ahead, but I think he's then losing every other lap half a second defending. I think that's just all adding up. And I think you get into a mentality, right, in this situation where you don't care about your pace, where you're just like, you're driving more in your mirrors than you are ahead. You're not chasing anyone, you're purely defending. Just making sure you don't make any massive errors, because as long as you avoid those massive errors, you should be able to hold on to the place around this tricky to overtake circuit. We've been to a lot of expansive circuits this season, particularly the first half of the season. We went to you know, Daytona and Spa and Co. But yeah, these final few rounds, Donington, Long Beach and Imola, very, very different.
Well, obviously, even if he is hyper saving, it does not gain him forwards. No way. 10-second gap, you don't get that from fuel unless you're no stopping.
Yeah.
Even if he's no stopping, even if he's no stopping, yeah, even if he was, it's still too much. If he's lost 10 seconds in 18, then he'll still lose out. All right, here comes the replay.
Oh, it was a scent. Oh. So that's Senna ahead, and it was Rinker behind. Livingston is the back of him. There goes. Oh, wow. What a gain there. Malchek got through. Senna did not help things.
No.
I'm not sure if it was Senna's fault. Okay, it wasn't Senna's fault initially.
No.
Livingston, no chance.
I love the car trying to push Senna out the way like it's going to make it better.
And then Malchek just easily gets through.
Yeah, and then Senna reverses, hitting the Porsche. I mean,
Porsche was burnt, I think.
I mean, it's not like, what is Senna to do, right? Because yes, you're taught to hold your brakes, okay? But he was causing a track blockage, so of course he was trying to help, right?
Sure.
He didn't cause the track blockage, but he was trying to fix it. So apart from towing, which you're not going to do if someone else caused it on you, yeah, I sympathise a bit. I don't know what I would have done. Well, no, I don't know, in real life, I'd have opened the door and gone over to him like, what are you doing, mate? What are you doing? Not only did you spin me, why are you wheel spinning, pushing me? I think it'd be a great feature iRacing to add.
Yeah, oh, you're walking out the car.
Settling things in pit road. Yeah,
a
yeah.
punch button.
Like Street Fighter, it goes into a round 3 combat mode. It would be brilliant.
Of course, this Long Beach circuit, something that I didn't realise until I looked at the racingcircuits.info website, is that this track used to have a very different layout. So I think on the corner that, 2 corners before, you used to go like straight, and there's a super elevation change. I mean, obviously, yeah, like there's some big elevation changes around this area. And so the circuit used to be, this whole section, what used to not be there. There's a much shorter layout than it used to be.
IndyCar goes here, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so back in the day when I was driving with TK a lot, he mentioned about IndyCar around here, IRL, and how hard it was, how demanding it is.
But yeah, I would like iRacing to, it would be pretty cool if iRacing just scanned the streets which used to form the old layout of the circuit. I'm not sure if it's necessarily a better layout, but it would be pretty cool to see.
Well, if AC Evo and Mario Kart had an open world, is it about time iRacing had it open world?
Yeah, should iRacing's open world be based on Long Beach?
No, just full open world, the whole world.
Oh, the whole world, sure.
Yeah. If you have a meatball, you can go drive to the nearest garage and get it repaired.
Well, I mean, we're all living in a simulation though, right?
Yeah, we do that, I suppose, IRL, yeah.
Yeah.
But I would like in my simulation to simulate a simulation.
But you'd like to know that you're in a sim, like be absolutely sure that you're in a simulation.
Exactly.
Or step out of one simulation into another. Abithu has fallen back a bit now from your tortoise, but your tortoise is still losing time to the race leader.
Justin in the pits and Thomas Brent is falling.
Oh, yeah. Burns he's stationary up there. There he is.
Oh,
wow.
Where?
That's at the fountain. So he's had a big one there. That must have been contact. And Euler is round. And this could be trouble. Okay, he has towed.
Oh, wait, the Porsche reverse, he was gone. It must be a bit netcoded, like we see him gone. Because there's no way you'd reverse after he disappeared.
Well, yeah, he was. So Nurmi moves past Moeller as well. Nurmi's up into 9th place now. De Ruyter moves behind Brown. So it's our second incident there. And here they come still. Brown still on the outside. Was not able to complete that move on De Ruyter. And now he's under pressure from Vist. But Vist unable to make anything of it.
Yep, apart from kill a few flowers in the fountain. Yeah, I do. I like this track. Just to say, I'm not a fan of the starting procedure. It just needs to be further down, I think. That will help. But then that's why I refuse to do multi-class here, because the GT3s, you go so early that lap 0 has the last sector in it, so no thanks. Single class is a lot better unless you scuff your qualifying, then you're in hell. There's a good showing from Nurmi, 9th in draft of Frederick Okoko, who we know is a very strong driver. Then there is a gap. That battle for P8 looks like it is on.
And in the championship, Okoko would be losing points right now to his main championship rival.
Siafi in the pit, or out of the pits now. Looks like a regulation stop though. Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what happened to Siafi earlier when he spun the drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah, he spun by himself, didn't he? Yeah. But yeah, at the moment in the Pro-Ams, Kokok would be taking points out of Vist's championship lead. Gap going into this round was 27 points. I think if it ends like this, he'll take out about 10 points, I believe. So he'll be down below 20 points going into the final round. Looks like our Pro-Ams is probably going to be the closest championship going into the final round.
Hello to Igor in chat. Barty's teammates with the guy that can't make it today. Korshevin, thank you. Was
Dude,
you just
no,
letting me struggle?
The first half of that, I couldn't remember it, and then the second half, I tried to sort of style it out and just go with it and pretend like I didn't know, but I did know in the second half.
Thanks, mate.
That's no problem.
We haven't talked about it much. We talked about the gaps and the gaggles that are out there, but Leon actually in his own split.
Yeah.
5.8 seconds in 25 minutes. That's insane. And Eutortus is, not a slow driver by, well, he's not a slow driver, period. It's not like the qualifying margins where all that. He's just got that bit extra and he's using it every race. And he's flashing to say hello.
Yeah, you can see how incremental it is. Eutortus isn't making mistakes out there. Mishko is just eking it out and looking to take the lead of the championship for the first time this season, actually. He hasn't led the championship at any point. Tellman led the first few rounds. Then, of course, we had Lacine take over the championship in the last couple. And now this man, with no Lacine insights. Would have been fascinating to see how Lacine did round her, because Lacine overtaking so tricky.
Tom Euler into the pits.
Ew, that's very close. But he's got underneath. This could be an opportunity for Michael Eberstein.
Yeah, he's
They've got to watch out, though, for Kiefer. He might try to make it 3 wide. But this is as close as Eberstein has got for the whole race. Fowler will stay alongside, but it might be the better line, just forcing him out to the wall. Nice move there for Eberstein. And it's taken him 26.5 minutes, but he has finally overtaken. And it might be 2 for 1, because up the inside goes Kiefer. Fowler with a decent exit, though. And once again, Nova might have a chance just behind them.
He's on the outside of the track in a slightly slower car as well. So oh, wow, that Porsche's got legs, though. Look at that. The Porsche's going to be brave here. Just trust Fowler go around the outside. I'm not sure I would. I would tuck in and try and do a bit of an undercut, although there's nowhere to undercut here. Unless you're going to straight line the fountain.
So was that Kiefer's opportunity? Getting Fowler on the unawares. It might be a lot tricky to pass him now.
All right, some more replays coming in. So this is what happened with Rinker and Bet. Oh!
I think that's got to be Rinker's fault, right?
Yeah, look,
I know that Burnt sort of breaks a lot earlier than normal, but I think you sort of got to anticipate that. Yeah. Coco kicks the back of Euler.
Oi.
Not much of a tap, but it was enough, and then Euler totally stranded.
It was nice of him to wait for him, though. No, I'm kidding, he ploughed through. Move!
So Euler, unfortunately, has retired after that.
Oh,
he
what a
could have
shame.
continued. He has a faster fan. I don't think there was even that much damage on it, but he towed back and then decided to call it a day. Oh, Chapinti into the wall. He has hit the tyres. Now, those tyres are very soft in comparison to the walls, but...
If it was a pure tyre contact, he's going to get a meatball flag in a few seconds. Let's see. May get lucky, but yeah.
Well, you can get to the end of the race from here if he pits. Oh, Kiefer has had an off. And has he hit the wall at the first corner as well? Looks fairly clean, the car.
Yeah, he's lost a few places. He was behind Russ Fowler, right? So he's down 4 or 5 positions.
He was, behind Fowler. So he's, he's gone deep at turn 1. So avoided the wall, but had to take the escape. Ojapinti maybe he has got damage because he's now being overtaken by Brown, and Vist will go through as well.
Yeah, it's opportunistic from Vist, but he can make that stick if he's brave.
So I expect Ojapinti to pull to the right in a moment and take his necessary pit stop.
No.
But no. So maybe the damage isn't too bad, and he was just overtaken fair and square.
Well, if it's a little bit bad, at least he's in the opportunity now to fuel save and stick with these 2 guys, so it's not the worst thing in the world.
I guess you don't want to pit early if you can avoid it because of the traffic, right? You don't want to be stuck behind.
Yeah, and like I say, if he can... it does look like he's a bit struggling, but yeah, I mean, if you can just hang on to these 2 and just save a bit of fuel and then take it later.
Rinker is going to get overtaken by Livingston. May have been a mistake from Rinker because Livingston seemed to get past him very soon after the hairpin, and he's up to 22nd place. Not really the round that Livingston wanted. considering that he's going to lose more points to Itrapinti, but back comes the Cordice Esports driver. And he has got past, and his teammate might go with him. Will Livingston stay alongside? No. So Livingston loses out in the end to Rinka and Schuttler.
Yeah, he did well to survive that. I mean, it wasn't a dirty move. It was aggressive, but it wasn't dirty.
And I find it's a little bit of a weird thing as well, like as someone who watches a lot of F1. If you're the inside driver and you go in deep, you're almost playing more of a risk than the driver on the outside, because the driver on the outside can just take the corner and will just spin you into the wall almost. Like if you push out into, if you put your door into their nose, then you're just gonna swing to the right and hit the wall yourself.
Gotcha, yeah.
So you can stick in there if you are on the outside. Of course, you'd rather not have contact at all, but and Livingston did go really for the percentages and backs out.
So when we're expecting the leader in, do you think?
I think 40 minutes. Usually they'd go about 35 minutes on a tank of fuel, I think.
Yeah.
60% capacity in this series.
Yeah, I mean, it makes no sense for Leon to fuel save. Like, just stretch the legs, build that gap in case anything happens. I mean, even if your Tortoise is fuel saving, it's only to cover off your Bitsu. Brandon Tabone looking good there, only 2 seconds off. Yeah. Team Grieving again, only over 2 seconds. 5 seconds back to our Pro-Am leader. Sheffers is stuck behind, there's not a lot you can do. And then you've got Kokok and Nermi looking good. Then 4 seconds back from that, P3, Pro-Am, Ruler. Thomas de Ruyter's not having his best race. He is a strong driver. Currently in P11, but behind 3 Pro-Ams. But the Pro-Ams are strong in this series. There's no two ways about it.
Absolutely. Ari 3.8k, Kokok 4.7. As we've got Jason Hodgson into the pits, our pick for the amateur win, and he has been doing well so far, Hodgson. I think he was 3rd place before the pit stop. And the drivers are allowed to cut the pit lane here. They don't have to stay in the fast lane. It's a long pit lane here and a very slow pit lane as well.
It is extremely slow, yeah. It'd be faster if it cut the last hairpin. You know, that would be opportunistic.
Yeah, if you could just turn right here, I would prefer that. I think that'd be a nicer, I don't know, maybe it would create new issues, but I do find this one a bit iffy. It's a very tight pit entry.
In multi-class, it's very iffy, yeah, because the prototypes get a really good exit behind you, and you're trying to scream over to the right early. Problem town.
Of course, Formula E hosted a couple of races here as well in their early years, and they turned right down the pit straight, so they didn't do this whole section of the circuit. This is back when the cars had to be swapped during the race. So these were very uncompetitive cars, and so even this fairly short circuit was probably a bit too long for the Formula E cars. And so, yeah, you basically took out all of this part, and they rejoined at this next left-hander. So the track was pretty much half the length in terms of time.
Long Beach Oval.
Long Beach Oval, which I mean, it'd be very easy for iRacing to implement that layout. Like, all you need to do is just burn through the wall. I don't think anyone would ever use it, because I think everyone agrees the best part of Long Beach is the fountain section. But I don't know. Until we get Formula E cars, I don't think it should be added.
I think they're hard license to R Factor too.
Sure. I mean, I don't think iRacing know what Formula E is, probably, so I don't think that.
Where do we put the engine? No, they got Missional.
They got Missional, yep.
Oh, yeah, that car. First time I ever saw it was watching Dan Suzuki stream. He loads up a YouTube video of a Porsche making engine sounds while he drove it, and just funny.
Has there ever been talk of you guys using that car for the All-Stars race? Because it seemed very obvious.
It was 2 years ago, I think, when I wasn't in it. The last season, the season before I joined, I think it was. Yes, it was, I believe, for a race or two.
Oh, Nova. Oh, he'd got the move done. But he spun up the tyres, and Fowler moves back past. And Malchek's going to be past. Well, Malchek is gaining a lot of places at that hairpin, not really doing a whole lot himself. But he's up 11 places now as Christian Malchek. What a
Let's see what happens here, though.
very strong drive.
Nicely covered by the Porsche driver there.
So can he get past Fowler? Not too many drivers have, because Eberstein was able to earlier on, and he's scampered up the road now 4 seconds ahead of these drivers. These guys will be lapped by the end of the race, unless they go faster.
Yes, and you're going to see many issues then, unfortunately.
Expecting pit stops in about 5 minutes' time. We're seeing a few drivers come in, but particularly if these guys come into the pits, they just start being lapped every lap. It'd be an awful decision to pit now. I think Jason Hodgson might be suffering from that right now, sort of in amongst the front runners. Put a lap down. Shout out, by the way, to Apex Racing Academy, one of the title sponsors for this series. Apex Racing Academy, of course, delivering setups, track guides, and coaching for these GT3 cars, all 10 of the GT3 cars that we have now on the sim, as we have a few of our drivers coming into the pits. But also the single-seater cars and the rallycross cars. I think it's close to 50 overall cars being covered by Apex Racing Academy at this point. So go get yourself a subscription over at apexracingac.com.
Well said. Tom in chat, I assume that's Tom Euler. Sorry to see what happened.
Did not want to be a lapped car. I think that's generous of you there, Tom. Didn't want to get in anyone's way.
No, I mean, I get it. It's not the best place, not the best track to be a lapped car for sure. As Pierre Libizzi is into the pits. Russ Fowler also boxed that lap as well. Oh, we saw that, yeah. We've already covered that, David. Come on. Raymond Schiffer's into the Frederick Koch into the pits. We'll keep an eye on these lap times. I'm expecting the pros to more go like 14 seconds. I'm not sure. I'm guessing. I haven't done a race here this week. It's been many seasons. I'm just eyeballing 14 seconds.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Would you consider taking tyres? Like 2 tyres?
If there's time for 2, yeah, I'll take left 2 if there's time.
Yeah. So it's pretty close out of the pits. Not necessarily for... Well, Fowler ahead of Kiefer. I can't remember if Fowler was ahead of Kiefer before the pit stops.
So Pierre Bitzer 15 seconds, Frederick Koch 16, Vincent Occhipinto 17 seconds. So good stop from Pierre.
Hutchinson with a bit of front left damage. Continues on.
Oh no, Occhipinto, sorry, 18-second pit. What? I don't know where I got that. Was Koch with the 17. I got a bit confused there. So yeah, Vincento Occhipinto, just a slightly long pit stop.
Malchek only took 4 seconds according to my screen.
Mine also.
That's suspicious, but that could be a glitch on our end potentially. Your Torts in. Michiko able to go the extra lap. So not only was he lapping faster than everyone else, he was also using less fuel. Your Torts not taking tyres though. He's staying very grounded there.
Yeah, I mean, if there's not, I don't know. I work in litres, not in time.
Yeah. Yeah, there certainly is time though to take tyres. I mean, usually it's 14 seconds to take 2, so, or 12 seconds even. So top 5 continue on. Here comes your Tortoise. How much traffic is he going to have to suffer through here?
Yeah, your Tortoise for the 15.9 pit stop, the exact same as Pierre Bitsu, so that seems to be the optimal, like, sort of fuel save while pushing pit stop.
So I think these may be a little bit closer, but...
David Muller with the first 14.8. That's good, over a second quicker than anybody else at the moment. More 2 seconds quicker than most people.
Comes out behind Koch. Here's the leader.
Yeah, we may have seen David Muller jump Nurmi. Let's keep an eye on Mikko Nurmi, but Mikko definitely knows how to fuel save. I've raced him plenty of times, but that's
Malchek's back into the pit, so I don't know what was going on with that 4-second pit stop for Malchek, but clearly wasn't enough fuel.
I mean, I've reversed in pit road before. You shouldn't do it, but if you do it slowly and gently, once you've realised you can do it.
Here's a matchup with the normal second pit stop. I don't know what was going on for him the first time round.
Right, Nurmi into the pits. Keep an eye on the pit time. It needs to be good though, because that gap between Kokok and Muller is small. Nurmi's pit stop, 15 flat. That's plenty good enough. Will we see him jump Frederick Kokok? I don't think so.
Barry out, Nurmi out.
Okay, Nurmi. Did you say Nurmi's out? Oh, still going out of pit road now. Nurmi up.
Yeah, has he jumped Sheffers there?
Yeah, and Kokok. Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, Kokok was stationing a bit longer, so that's worked brilliantly for Nurmi.
Yeah, 15-second flat. 2 seconds quicker than Kokok, 1 second quicker than Raymond Sheffers. Yeah, great pit stop.
Looks like Vist, I think, has jumped De Ruyter as well, had a 1.2 second quicker
Yeah, I
pit
mean,
stop.
the AT-RT boys are fuel saving. Like, they have both done bangers of pit stops. 14.8, 14.9, the fastest pit stops of anyone. And it's really paid off.
Tabone is taking tyres.
Yep, let's keep an eye on Brandon Tabone. 13.9. He is going for it.
Will it get him anywhere near a B3? He was quite far. I don't think he'll get him anywhere near. I think he'll still be at least 2 seconds behind. Here comes a B3.
Let's see. This is looking solid.
Yeah, B3 still with the... I mean, it's closer than 2 seconds. He was not far away from doing it, but... Oh, you know what? It is actually bang on 2 seconds. So there you go. Second down to fourth, separated by just 3 seconds. So they're all closer than they were before, but no changes of position for those podium.
But Leon Miska, 9-second lead. We're looking at a Verstappen-esque performance at the moment.
Yeah. So De Ruyter, one of the losers out there. He's now got Andrew Brown as well, not too far behind him. And Brown's been certainly involved in a lot of stuff. He's been charging his way up through the order, up to 13th now.
Ochapinti, that pit stop. I mean, I thought it was bad, but now we're seeing the high 14, low 15s and 18.5. That's shocking. He's the big loser from all of this. The biggest winners really are Nurmi and Wist, I'll say.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, Ochapinti's not sure what's happened there. But
yeah, Ochapinti's still leader out of the amateur drivers. At least got Stefano Senna behind him, but Senna is a lap down after a spin at the hairpin early on. Shouts out, by the way, to the Late Apex, which is hosted by me and David. You can watch live on Thursday afternoons from 4 o'clock. And yeah, this week we discussed the next level racing new rig, the Formula GT Pro rig, which is going to be available by the end of this month, as well as everything else going on in the sim racing world. So do check it out on the channel. Oh dear. Kiefer trying to get past Fowler. And fortunately for him, he hasn't lost out to Petonus.
again, a bit of a delayed reverse. It's almost like maybe, I don't know, like on the replay mode, we're seeing something different. But 2 times I've seen a driver reverse when they've already gone.
Yeah. Does it take so much like effort to get into a reverse that you're just like, oh, I've got it now, I may as well use it. Reverse a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's an awkward scenario where sometimes you're blocked by someone in front of you and you're sort of waiting for them to move, and you're not moving yourself because you expect them to move, and they're not moving themselves because they're expecting you to move.
Yeah, I know.
And
it feels like it lasts an eternity.
Exactly. And eventually you both do it at the same time.
The opposite directions into each other.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're just trying to combat that by just going for it straight away and just avoiding any risk.
Here's some replays coming in.
To center again. Oh, yeah, the inside wall.
Yeah, that's what you get when you apex too early. And this is Fowler into Kaifa. Oh,
Oh, what? No, okay,
I-
that's not fair. No, that's not a legit move.
yeah, I don't know if Fowler. I think Fowler just broke too late, moved right to not hit him.
Sure.
And then that's why he's overslowed at the exit to almost be like, I'm not trying to send it, it's yours, yours, yours. But sort of it's parked a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, I do not think that was a full dive bomb.
Yeah.
I mean,
And yeah, most of the time, to be fair, you get away with that as well. Like, he's overdriven the apex a bit, but it's just the fact that you put a driver into the wall, basically. Like, they've got nowhere to go bar the wall. That's you can't do moves like that. Imagine if we had Monaco and Lowe's hairpin. I mean, it would be interesting just to see if we could do a race. I feel like Long Beach is more expansive than Monaco by quite a bit. And I really am curious as to whether it would function. Whether you could have 40 car grids at Monaco. Because obviously that doesn't happen in real life.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. You can't use it for GTs. There's too much understeer.
Oh no, that is a send from the Cold Ice Esports car. Almost into Kaifer. Kaifer maybe gives him a little bit of a door check. And look at the leader making his way through all this.
Not going to lie, I like that door check. That was really nice. That's class.
Oh yeah, it was over-ambitious from Rinka. And yeah, I think he deserves that one.
Well, because half the times it's netcode, right? If you swing your car fast enough, it won't look like you hit them.
Sure.
Yeah. I am kidding, of course.
So the blue flag rules in this series is that once a driver who is putting a lap on you is within half a second, you have to let them pass within 2 straights. Now,
So who's this in front? Rinka. No, this is Kaifer in front.
So Kaifer, I mean, this is a straight, so he ought to let him go at the next, and this coming up, this is also a straight. So he really should be laying him past here. And he is? Yeah, just about not making it easy.
No, yeah, it was more that he orchestrated an overtake than he was facilitated.
So I think he'll get away with that. I mean, part of it is how angry Mishka is.
Correct.
If he's going to protest.
It goes unnoticed if it's not protest.
Yeah, yeah, the stewards don't have enough time in their hands to scroll through every lapping car.
The reason I say it's going to be Carnegie is because that was just one. Leon Mishka out on his own. You wait till there's 5 cars trying to clear. And yeah, I understand why Kaifer was slow, because he's in a battle himself. So you kind of don't want to open the door for more than one, so I get it. When we've got 4 or 5 cars, the dynamic completely changes. So it's about to get exciting in a couple of laps' time. Oh, I wish I ordered a pizza now.
I mean, there is one, I think, outside.
Yeah, I don't see Lewis, so I wouldn't even notice. No, I'm going to bed early tonight.
Yeah. Oh, in the wall!
My lord!
For Kaifer, it's not a good debut for Kaifer, and he needs to try to rejoin. Okay, careful. Okay, he knew where the back of the car was, to be fair.
He didn't know where the front was twice. Yeah, his car's done.
Oh, and we got another 2. And how are they going to rejoin? Rinka in the wall, and it was it Herkenrath? Who was it? Or was it Livingston?
It was Livingston
in the wall, wasn't it?
Rinka, yeah. I'm not sure what's happened there.
Was Rinka a lap down as well? I feel like Rinka was a lap down from early instance, right? Unless he just took an early pit stop. There is Livingston. Oh man, I don't know why he didn't go into the pits unless it looks worse than it actually is.
He's crabbing, right?
I mean, I think he is. But if he is, I don't know why he wouldn't just come into the pits.
I'm not sure. Yeah, so we'll get a replay of that Rinka Livingston incident, and yeah, hopefully they could also tell us if who was a lap down or what the situation was.
Yeah, to be fair, I can just see. So Rinka. So he's back to the pits now, so I can't really learn too much. I think he was a lap down though, Rinka. Livingston most definitely on, well, maybe not the lead lap, but he was still like with the pack. Only the leader had lapped him at that point. But yeah, it can happen at that corner. It is an easy one to just pick a little bit too late and never get close to the wall, and then that one time you slap it. So Malchurek, after a brilliant few places gained earlier on, he's going to gain one in the back here. Smolotz into the wall.
There's going to be a lot of cold ice paint on the walls here at Long Beach.
This is David Moeller behind these guys. Probably not happy that he hasn't been allowed past already.
Oh yeah, good point.
He should be allowed past on this straight. He's flashing the lights. That's the last couple of rounds at Spa and Donington. We've had the sprint races, so the drivers haven't had to deal with blue flags, but yeah, this is not all right here from Smolotz.
No, this
is the second straight, and he should be letting him past.
Yep.
Oh, and a tap into the wall as well for Moeller. I mean, the good news for Moeller is that he's got 11 seconds to his teammate behind.
Yeah, but still, it's not on the driver in front to, you know, be involved in that situation. I mean, David Moeller was definitely catching, definitely the faster car, and yeah, we've already seen him, Cold of Ice, touch the wall a few times as well. He just needs to let him through. But yeah, I mean, the rules are the rules. It's a pen.
Yeah.
It's a whole lap. Right, so Nurmi on the back of... no, sorry. Wait, who is this? Nurmi and Bari. So, well, Nurmi's picked things up.
Yeah, he's been really hustling him this second half of the race since the pit stop.
So I assume Nurmi went for a fuel saving, but gave himself enough fuel to sort of push to the end, which is not always the way you do it, but I suppose, I'm not sure. Or Bari just over fuel saved and has left himself a bit vulnerable on fuel. It's hard to tell, very hard to tell at this track how they're driving. Okay, here's a replay of the what happened with... Oh, we clipped the inside wall. We missed that, so then that ploughed him into the outside wall. Look, the inside wall here, clip, bang, dead. What a shame. Okay, then we stay with it.
Oh, so did he have damage? Has he? Because the car's scraping along on ground there. He hasn't got like a puncture, has he?
Not sure.
Yeah, I think he had a puncture. He cannot turn right. So I don't know if he's got a meatball there. I mean, in the end, if you've got a damaged car, it's your responsibility to not crash into someone.
Correct. If it's not a meatball and he went and that was his first experience turning right, then
like if he didn't know, but I think he'll be maybe.
I mean, he still gets the blame. It's just not in like. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, you're right. The driver essentially did nothing wrong, if that's the case. If you find out you've got a damaged car when you go to turn right, obviously it's not his fault. Yep. But you take the penalty. Well, because you caused
if there's no sign, then I don't think you get a penalty for that.
But you caused another car to not participate in the race for a corner. You can't...
Yeah, but...
Yeah, it's still unintentional fault.
But the...
Do you know what I mean?
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say that's his... I think the contact before wasn't even his fault, right?
No, of course not.
So I would say if it's like a piece of hardware which fails, if your brake pedal snaps, then that's
still
your fault.
Yeah.
But if you've been hit by another driver which has caused that damage, I don't think that's your fault. Obviously, I think he's probably got suspension damage. He's probably got
Agreed, yeah.
He's probably left side down. He's probably noticing sparks coming out of the back of the car in the mirror. So all the hallmarks are there that this car isn't going to turn very well for this next right-hander. But he... So I think all those signs point towards he should have broken earlier. I think if there's no signs, then maybe it's excusable. But
yeah, so how I see it is he did nothing wrong. Probably did nothing wrong because didn't know that that was going to happen to his car, but it's still his fault. That's how I unfortunately see it, because, I mean, it certainly wasn't Livingston's fault.
No.
Do you? But I'm not saying there should be a... Oh, we've got big smoke.
Oh, and that's in the wall. So for one of the drivers on lap down, it could be Lenny Kiefer. No, it's one of the Cold Ice esports drivers. It's Daniel Cialfi.
I think he's broken.
Yeah, Livingston gets held up again.
Oh, these poor Cold Ice guys have been touching the walls. They've been strong all strong as in surprisingly strong all season. They've been impressing, but just not their track today. Where's the rest of them? How are we with Cold Ice? So we've got Michael Epstein still doing a good job out there, P15, and Jan Schuttler in 21st doing a good job. I mean, it's also, there's more of them, so they're more likely to be seen.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's been a lot of them. It's very impressive. Right, Nurmi with a... Wow, it's just that accurate of the acceleration's insane.
Good to see Core Sim Racing back out there because we've had Sven Newman and Carl Winkler take part in so many series in the past. Two of the most experienced drivers in this series. Fortunately, he didn't take part in this season, but they tend to do sort of one GT3 trophy season a year. So hopefully we'll see them back soon. But yeah, it is an iconic livery, really, on the channel.
Yep.
And a livery that hasn't changed really a whole lot. That Core Sim Racing, I think, for the last 5 years, it's always been the orange and white. Always quite a simple design. So they've got Lenny Kiefer ahead of them, but after that, I don't think they've got any more traffic for the end of the race.
Yeah, I mean, there's not enough time for even Nurmi to find a way here. I don't think any more positions to go. Can he get Barry? It's not going to be easy. Unfortunately, his best opportunity, based on the looks of the stars of cars, is the hairpin. He's got that bit more power, bit of brakes, but the Acura, if we look on acceleration terms, is just superior. All right, some more replays coming in. Here we go. So this is what happened to Cialfi, just coming in way too hot.
Senna barely avoiding.
Way too hot. Yeah, very good avoid from Senna here.
Yes, very good.
Ah, nicely let through there, the lap on. Very clever, actually.
Well, as long as there's not a third car in here. Otherwise, I fear the rejoin. It's like, oh, I've done such a great job at letting those two cars by. I'm just going to go back onto the racing line now. Yeah. And there's someone else there. Of course, in real life for this season, in Formula 1, they've got 2 mandatory pit stops at Monaco. I would say this hasn't been an exciting round in the championship. I think it's been one of the less action-packed ones. Do you think a mandatory 2 pit stops would have caused more interest?
To me, that's a show, not a race. It's about who is the fastest driver, right? Not what's the most entertaining event. So I don't agree with forcing Monaco to be a 2-stop. If you really want a better race, go to a different track. I sound like what's his name? The Mercedes boss.
Oh, you totally.
Yeah, I sound like that quote where he says, yeah. Yeah.
Sergio told me that he can't drive the car.
Yeah.
Build yourself a something car.
Yeah. Horner said it, right?
Horner said it, yeah.
No, I
fix your something car.
I don't agree with it. I get why, and I'm sure it will work. It'll be more entertaining. But it's a race, not a show. Or is it a show?
100% disagree. I think it's all about the show. I don't like. I think if it was just 20 drivers going round who could go the fastest, and it was basically like a time trial, no one would watch it.
Then we need to change the track, right?
No one would do it. But I think F1 is just a show. It's an entertainment, like all sports is. Like that's where all the money comes from. That's the only thing. Besides, obviously, like the marketing and the safety of it all. That's the only thing that matters to the promoters, and the only thing that should matter to the promoters, because that's how you make money, right? Might be a checkered flag here, which would cut this debate short.
Oh, yeah.
I think he'll make it, though. But iRacing does sometimes cut it a couple of seconds short. Is it? No, there's no checkered. There's the white.
So hopefully everyone's got enough fuel. What can Nurmi do? Last opportunity, I think, is... No, Nurmi looks like he's just happy to follow. Because he definitely has... Oh!
This could be a chance.
Yeah, but still, even if a wall hit that accuracy, illegal on acceleration. Look at this.
So he's 0.2 of a second behind. He could certainly go for a dive hit,
Yeah.
but I think Barry will probably just post car in the middle of the track. Oh, he's leaving himself vulnerable.
Yeah.
And he has left himself vulnerable.
It's just filling the mirrors, I think, there. I get it. Nurmi's probably on very tired tyres.
No,
And
but-
this, if you don't, do you want your first attempt at a late dive into one to be on white flag with old tyres? I think Nurmi more there was, he's already hit the wall, he knows he's stressed, fill his mirrors. Maybe he makes one more mistake.
Nova's passed Hodgson for P16 on this last lap. I think that was down into turn. Well, actually, I think it was at the hairpin on the previous lap.
Nurmi looks like he's got the tyres for this, though.
Out in the lead, 12 seconds ahead.
What a
The
dominant.
man who hasn't led the championship for the whole way, but now with just one round to go, he's basically got a hand on the trophy. Leon Mishka with his first A format win of the season. It's his 4th overall. It's his 3rd in 3 rounds.
And he'll be leading the championship as well now.
He will be leading the championship with 1 round to go. Bari is going to try to hold on. Will Nurmi send it? He maybe considered it, but it's not worth it. On his debut, it'll still be a good debut for him. But it'll be a great result for Alexei Bari. It'll move him up into a clear 3rd place, or joint 3rd going into this round. He gets a clear 3rd place. And the teammates are switching places. They nearly mess it up because Vis moves past Mulder. Vis needs the points for the championship.
They might have screwed this up a little bit there. Like, I think they have.
Oh, De Ruyter's going to come closer. The teammates trying to give each other the draft, and they've just about held on.
Oi, 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 oi. 2 things I didn't love there. It almost looks a little blocky in the hairpin after they messed it up. And then there was blocking at the finish line there, so not my favourite.
Ochapinti with another race win. He has been relentless this season. It is his 4th round victory of the season. And he's, yeah, nearly won the title mathematically. Livingston will have a chance, but he would need a phenomenal round, would Livingston at Imola if he was going to do it. But yeah, Mishka, the absolute dominant driver there. The driver that you picked, I think, to win the race.
Correct, yes. Yep.
A bit of an unusual one, though, because, I mean, like, Mishka, he's been very strong this season, but that was his first pole of the season. And once he was in pole, there was no looking back.
No, no, no. Absolutely is. Completely different league there in consistency on those first, say, 14, 15 laps. Couple of tenths every lap faster. And then managed the traffic well. Took 0 risks. When he got held up with traffic, he just kept his calm. Because we saw other drivers, when they get held up, they boshed into walls and stuff. It's Long Beach. It's always going to happen. It is hard to be let by. It's hard to manage all this. And yeah, Leon with a brilliant win there.
Well, let's have a look at our results then for this round of the championship penultimate round. We've got 1 more round to go at Imola, of course. Mishka, 12 seconds clear. Bari, the top of the Pro-Ams, and quite far away ahead of Kokuk. But Kokuk did, well, in the end, Vis managed to recover some decent points. I didn't really notice how Vis made up some places near the end, but he was able to get past Mola, Crucially. I think there were a couple of other incidents as well around him. So in the end, the championship gap, I think, only comes down by 2 points, if I'm correct. So he's still 25 points that Vist has got to play with going into the last round. And Ochapinti, easily the amateur winner. Hodgson maybe getting a little bit held up, I think, behind Fowler in the early stages. And yeah, that did help out the Italian. It would be nice to have an interview with a couple of our drivers, but no one's joined us yet. But let's talk about...
I see him.
Oh.
Are you having issues?
I might be having issues. Oh, yeah, they are there. Oh. Maybe they've blocked me or something.
You've been banned, mate.
Yeah.
Who do you want to speak to? You can do the
Well, I
first.
don't even know he's there.
Leon and Livingston are there.
Let's have Leon.
Okay, 1 second.
Leon, congratulations on that race win. Of course, your first pole of the season. I was saying, you know, a pole was going to be very important around this track. You haven't taken a pole this season. You've taken it now, and what a time to take one.
Yeah, first congrats to the complete podium in Pro and the podiums in Pro AM and AM. Yeah, was a nice feeling to have the pole. Was not an optimal lap time, but I think one is pretty good to start with. And with that said, yeah, I could just relax a bit, try to improve, but didn't need to. And yeah, started from pole, which was very good. Got Haraldus directly out of tow in the first 2 laps, and then it was just managing the race and being clean. And yeah, I was constantly fast over the complete 1 hour, and happy to be here and taking the win in the penultimate round.
Yeah, it was a really, really good drive. Out in the lead, of course, you were so far ahead of everyone else. You had seemingly a couple of tenths on everyone else. Was it tricky to keep your concentration up for that entire 60 minutes? Because, you know, one small mistake and it can get away very quick.
Not really, because I was more worried about lapping cars and maybe they crash in turn 1 or they happen. And this keep me busy during the race, and yeah.
And looking ahead to the final round, of course, it's quite a turnaround in your championship. I mean, we were talking about sort of Telman and Lacine battling for the title for this whole season. And then, of course, your strong run of form and them dropping away has really helped you. So one more round of the championship. You've got a big lead in the championship as well over Haraldus. So how are you feeling going into that round? Do you think you'll drive any differently with the championship being on the line?
I think we are gonna want to win the championship, and there will be cars coming back, of course. I guess Valkyrie maybe, but they will start from the back. But I think we need to push as hard as we can in the last round to finish good. And of course, we need to look about the team standings as well, because there we have a good try as well, and we want to win both championships as well. So we're gonna push hard, and yeah, I just try to be clean in Imola, but yeah, we will see what's coming next.
Yes, yeah, we'll be looking very good for yourselves, of course, with Valkyrie not being here today. I think you've passed them quite easily, and it'll probably be against you and Absolute for the team's title. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, to my team and to my family and my friends. Yeah, thanks for supporting me, and yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having a chat with us, Leon, and best of luck for the season finale.
Bye, thanks.
Yeah, GG's.
Leon, Mishka, they're your winner today, and by quite a dominant margin.
Yeah. Do you see that ladder that's vertically up behind him? And it was directly behind him. He sat in the rig, and there's a ladder against the wall, vertical, completely vertical. Man, I'd be so nervous that thing hitting my seat mid-race. Right, let's speak to Simon Livingston. Hi, Simon, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
Perfect. Hello, mate. How are you doing? Stressful race?
Really stressful race. A lot of things happening around me. I never think that I ever raced at Long Beach without there being a lot of things happening. So I just tried to stay in the traffic and was just thinking of tactics, undercutting, overcutting, all of that. And then just like, oh, there's a crash in front of me. What should I do? I have to stop for 3 seconds and wait. And a lot of things just happening. But I had fun anyways. But I knew that this race was going to be chaotic. So I just was just thinking championship. You're P2 in the championship. Just don't give away any points unnecessary. So that was just my tactic today.
Yeah, strong finish, P5. And we saw you get involved with ring car. I think he had a damaged car. Well, obviously we're seeing everything in live, but I think he picked up a damage on the corner before and then went side by side with you. And I don't think he could turn right, and he ploughed into the wall and towed rather rapidly. Was you thinking it was all over?
Yeah. At that moment, I was standing in just trying to get reverse. It was just like, if the car is broken now, I will start to cry, because now I just survived so long and it's almost over. But fortunately, the car was kind of drivable. I think my steering wheel was at like 45 degrees to the left, but I managed. It was so tough though, and I also picked up a little bit of a flu, so I've been driving today with a fever, so I don't feel good, but the race was good in that sense.
I haven't driven the Ford around here, but I assume apart from being understeery, it's pretty good over the curbs. Is that how you found it, or how was the setup overall here for the Ford?
No, it's generally good. It's just the final sector, the two lefts and then into the hairpin. It's really just wants to either snap on your understeer, and it's like trying to get a semi around that corner. It's almost like 3-point turn to just get it around. So I see like all the laps, like the Porsches, the Ferraris, like all the smaller mid-engine with more of rotation could just gain like almost like 3/10 just in the hairpin on me. So I just had to go slow in and fast out, but it worked. So they can't pass me there, so it's
exactly
okay.
Exactly. Imola next week. Oh, Imola next round. Are you excited for that? Is that a track you love?
It's one of the more like famous tracks that I haven't really driven that much, but from my memories, I think like I have done good at it, but I think I need to do some practice on it because I've heard that they've changed the curbings or something a little bit on it, and I haven't tested it since that, so I need to do some practice for it, for sure.
I don't know when you last tested it. It's always been brutal with curbs and off tracks, especially the off tracks. It's about learning them so you can push to the limit, because if you underdrive the off tracks, you're going to be really slow at Imola. But anyway, I'm sure you can do great. P2 in the championship, and look forward to chatting to you next week. Is anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, first of all, Racing Lab, the teammates. I would give a big shout out to Johansson Motorsport for last weekend's race that I watched and enjoyed. And I would also give a shout out to you guys for being the two best Apex duo commentators again.
Thanks, mate. Legend. All right. GG's, and good luck on the closing round for your championship fight.
Yes. Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Adam, bye. There we go. Simon Livingston, always nice to talk to. And good race. Yeah, he had the right tactic. Think long, stay out of trouble, and next time don't be in a Ford.
Yeah, he can make that.
No, I like the Ford.
If he's got a big enough championship margin per second, he could change his car with 1 round to go.
Imola's a good choice for the Ford.
Yeah, we'll see how he gets on. Does Imola? So the change he was talking about, could that be the 3D curbs? Maybe
must be. If he's not been at the track for a long time, it is. Yeah, it's pretty brutal. I love the track.
Of course, they change out the off tracks out a little bit occasionally, don't they?
Yeah, it's just about learning the damn slowdowns and the off tracks. Obviously, there's a slowdown in the second to last left hander. Like usually you understeer, but the one time you nail it and think, I've done this corner, and you get a slowdown for hitting the apex. It's but no, once you've learned the off tracks and slowdown, I think it's a brilliant track. We had one of the best races broadcasted there when we had the fuel saver-thon.
Of course, and the Jars were going 4 seconds a lap slow, and we had Jars in 35th, gaining 2 seconds a lap on the leaders. That was good fun. It could happen again. I mean, that was GT3 trophy, so...
we've given away the strat.
Yeah, we're giving away the strat.
4 seconds a lap off pace.
Yeah. Looking forward to that. Of course, once again, this isn't the only ARL series going on. You can also sign up. Well, you can sign up for the Prototype Championship actually on a Monday, but probably the two better series to sign up for are the ARA Porsche Cup, which is going to be on Thursday evenings. That's starting in 3 weeks' time. Sign-ups are open for that. We've already had plenty of entries sign up. And for the Apex Racing League Touring Car Britain, we have had, I think, about 26 sign-ups, I believe, 26 or 27 sign-ups for that so far. That's starting in a couple of weeks following a BTCC format and tracks. And that will also be on Thursday evenings, broadcast by us. So very much recommend checking all of that out.
I'm looking forward to that.
Will be really, really good. Triple race formats, reverse grids will be really, really cool. That is pretty much it for us. So, of course, make sure to leave a like on this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Check out all of our streams coming up in the next few days. Check out our social medias as well. And that's for Apex Racing League and Apex Racing TV. Join the ARL Discord as well. Link to that in the description below. But for now, from myself, Sam Fitzpatrick, from David Sampson and everyone here at the Apex Racing TV esports studio, we're going to say goodbye. And we'll see you back for the season finale at Imola in 1 week's time. See you then.
Ciao.